What's up, guys? This is Chris with BenhamBaseballCards.com again. As promised, I'm bringing you a box of Series 2, 1991 Donruss. Again, I left it cellophane so you guys could see that it actually does come cellophane with Donruss company labeled cellophane, not just plain clear cellophane. I imagine this is going to be as riveting as the Series 1 video, but we will be able to make comparisons from Series 1 to Series 2, and the first thing I notice as I open this is that there's a little flap right here. It looks like it was a factory-made crease, so they tucked these under the cards so as to add another layer of protection on this bottom corner here, or just to keep the flap closed so it didn't fly open like Series 1 did. I'll keep the box way off up here to the side, and there were a couple more things that I wanted to mention that of course I thought about after I stopped filming. Actually, the card filled up and shut off on its own because I was in the middle of talking about something. Here's the stack of those cards that had the little white chunk from going through, from the machine picking it up. I went ahead and pulled them all out of those two stacks right there of blue border Donruss Series 1. As I was looking at the wrappers on the Series 1 cards, they kept alternating advertisements on these two flaps here, and as I was unfolding all of those, I noticed that they do have autographed cards inserted just completely randomly. And the reason I mentioned that there were no autographs or any special inserts is because in all the years that I had collected, in all the packs of 1991 Donruss cards that I had bought in my childhood, not one time did I ever get any kind of a decent insert like that, a rare pull like that, so I never knew that they even existed. It wasn't until I actually read the flap here, these two flaps out here. These ones are just informational ones. They rotate them between informational stuff and advertisements and information. Keep repeating myself now. Okay, so this is the other thing I wanted to mention about the Series 1, which would be the same for Series 2, is I believe the factory set versions of these cards have different designs on the border. It's the same general card design, but these the little colored intricate pieces of the design are in a different order in the factory set. I think they just changed the cardstock that everything was printed on. Chris Gwynn, Charles Nagy, Rafael Ramirez, Brian Harper. This, in Series 2, they added bonus cards, what they call bonus cards. They weren't the MVPs. That was in 1990 in the red border 1990 set. They called them, the card number was BC something. The bonus cards in here are the highlight cards that I showed you in Series 1. Dave Stewart was one of them. Somebody else was right behind him with another highlight. Ozzie Diaz. Does he look anything like he does today? Man, that's weird to see people that we see currently today and to look back at their pictures, I don't know how many years ago. 91, 20 years ago, Ozzie Guillen was in pretty good shape, really skinny. He was fast too. This is one of the highlights cards right here, Nolan Ryan, 1991 highlights, or Series 2 highlights, his 300th win. Mickey Tettleton. That was my uncle's favorite player. Mickey Tettleton. He was a pretty good player, real low-key. Never once did I ever see him argue a call from an umpire, not once. Even if he knew the umpire was dead wrong, he never argued the call. Real classy and professional. Real quiet guy. I know he ended up finishing his career with the Texas Rangers because I remember watching his retirement speech. I just happened to change the channel and caught it that one day, or otherwise I'd have never known he retired. Roberto Kelly, Zane Smith, Alan Anderson, Lenny Dykstra. They call him Nails. Tough as Nails. Lenny Tough as Nails Dykstra. Daryl, he was kind of like Pete Rose, just in that toughness where he would just eat a face full of dirt and get up and smile and not care at all. Daryl Hamilton, Wally Whitehurst, Jeff Montgomery, Jerry Goff, Steve Carter, Steve Searcy, Jose Gonzalez, Felix Fermin, Turner Ward, Travis Fryman, fantastic third baseman for the Tigers for a few years there, Jose Mesa. He was a rookie in '87 and still pitched up until recently, unless he still pitches today. But when you only pitch a couple of innings a game, you can go for quite a few years. I don't believe Mesa was ever a starter. I believe he was always a reliever. Omar Oliveras, Jesse Barfield, Andy Van Slyke, Gary Gaetti, Terry Mulholland, Mike Felder, Frank Viola. Oh yeah, it's getting late. Greg Olson, Kurt Stillwell, Tim Wallach, Frank Tanana, Eddie Murray, Lenny Dykstra All-Star, Mark Gardiner, I guess it could be Gardner, just spelled differently, rated rookie, and Greg Swindell. I'm going to go ahead and cut the video off because apparently my battery didn't have much power in it. It's flashing red at me right now, so it's going to die. So I'll cut this one off and I'll resume it when I charge my battery. Alright, I actually had to wait until the next morning to resume this video. With this new camera, it has its own little custom battery, and the battery takes forever to charge when it dies. I did check on some more details about the set itself. I checked on eBay for possible 1991 Donruss cards. I just typed in 1991 Donruss on eBay, and it brought up, and I sort the listings, price, highest plus shipping. And if you look at the first page or two worth of results, the highest price ones, you'll see what possibilities could have come from the signature series inserts that they did actually have in here. But they were very, very hard to pull because there were only 10,000 of each one of them. And then 7,500 of the Nolan Ryan. Trying not to sneeze here. I went ahead and kept opening these packs up while I was waiting for the battery to charge, and I was able to sleeve up all of the first box of Series 1. And then I finally decided to go to bed because it was just taking way too long. I probably won't open too many more of these because you can see that they're just not that exciting for a video, but it fills everybody in on what's going on with older cards that a lot of people today, being that there's a lot of youngsters out there that are collecting, they don't realize anything about, they don't know anything about these older cards. How simple they were, how affordable they were. I don't even remember what the price of these things was. I know 1992 Topps was 50 cents a pack. About that. Might have been 45. So these were probably comparable to that. Over 2 million prizes. It says on the front of these packs that you could win instantly over 2 million prizes. But what they're not telling you is the way you win is that there's a game piece on the inside of the wrapper here that says second prize. It says binder right under it. So I'm guessing there were 1,900,997 binders. And then the first prize was a Louisville Slugger, I believe is what it was. I don't know because I only have one piece that says Louisville, but I'm willing to bet it was a bat. There may have been even 10 bats or something like that, and go crazy and have 10. But I'm sure there was only one grand prize, and I'm willing to bet it was a trip to the Hall of Fame, because the first game piece, the only game piece I've ever gotten, says Hall of on the bottom of it, and has half of the Hall of Fame logo. As I said previously, these highlights cards are the bonus cards, numbered with BC. Mr. Dirt and Mr. Clean, Lenny Dykstra and Dale Murphy. Bud Black. This is one of the cards that's considered an uncorrected error. There's lots of these cards, uncorrected errors, UER. There's lots of these cards in the set. If you guys check out the price guide or some kind of a list that actually has the errors on there. Bud Black is pictured in a Blue Jays uniform, but has the Giants logo. I'm willing to bet there was a transaction while the cards were being produced, but they were able to change the graphic easier than the photo. There are only 2 true errors with corrected versions available in Series 1. Jack McDowell's card number 57, on the back on his stats box, the bottom line should say his 1990 stats, but the error card does not have the 1990 stat line on there. It stops at 89, in which it says he did not play because of injury or something like that. The 89 line is there, but it doesn't have any stats. And I am trying to sort out all these, or try to unfold all these wrappers flat so they fit back in the box when I'm done with these. Jack Morris. That's about it with these. I mean, there's really nothing else exciting. If I get anything, obviously I'll turn the camera back on, but there's no reason to bore anybody else. You guys get the point. I opened almost half the box. But that's basically Donruss 1991, Series 1 and Series 2. That's what they're made of. I didn't have any damaged cards in the green boxes because they were obviously made at a different time. Like I did with the blue boxes, having these ding cards on the top of the pack in most cases. But that's not too bad to lose this little tiny stack of cards. I actually lost this Dennis lamp. See if I can get it to reflect just right. You can see that there's a huge crease. Yeah, right there. Basically the cardstock just got folded, and it appears that it got folded before it was printed because there's no ink in the crease. Nah. I mean, you can see it just folds right over easily because there's a crease there already. But to lose this little bit of cards out of 540, there's probably only 20 cards here. So that means I still get 540 out of a box I didn't pay very much for. So I mean, I probably paid a nickel a card, but they're all brand new and perfect condition. So I recommend this if anybody's interested in it. I think it was only 10 bucks a box. Oh, it wasn't this receipt. Of course, now that the video's going, I can't find the receipt. $9.95. $9.95 a box, guys. I'm guessing with those cards being eliminated, it'll probably go up to about 6 cents. Now, sorry, my allergies are bugging me again today. They usually don't when I take my medicine, but we're getting into allergy season again. 9.9. by 520. Okay, so I only paid 2 cents for each card. I don't know why I was thinking a nickel. It's kind of stuff happens when you're crazy. Alright, you guys. I'm gonna ramp it up to 1992 Donruss next. These were a whole lot better, because they started making Diamond Kings in the borderless or full bleed, kind of like Stadium Club. Once Stadium Club broke out with those full bleed borderless photographs in 1991, everybody wanted to start doing that. So, but everybody else started to include them as a premium card instead of doing all of the cards like that. So Donruss tried it with their Diamond Kings, and then they did it with their Spirit of the Game cards. There's a bunch of different inserts that you guys will see. There'll be a whole lot more for me to explain, but I wanted to definitely let people know that what 1991 Donruss was all about, because it actually was a decent card. I mean, it's simple, it's thin, it's not high gloss, it's not super expensive, but as you can see, I paid just under 2 cents for each card that I got. So you can get some Ken Griffey Jr.'s and some Nolan Ryans, and there's actually quite a few Nolan Ryans. I think there's 3 or 4 different Nolan Ryans in the set because of all the MVP and the highlights or whatever insert cards he has in here. But I'll wrap this one up in 10 minutes, and I'll go ahead and move on to 1992. See you guys.